Welcome to Activations with JJ Ascension Message. In this episode, we will be exploring this particular time frame of mid-October and how we are all reacting to the intense upgrades and ascension codes that are coming through at this time. Hello, my friends. I am so excited to have you here for this particular ascension message. You know what? I really feel like the Ascension Message is not even the best word to define it. I really think it should be called Ascension Newsflash because there are so many things that I want to bring through right now that are intense, that are just popping up in everybody's life. And I felt like this really big sense of urgency to bring this through to you. So for those of you who follow my Instagram, I've actually already posted about this on Instagram because I felt so much an urge to do so even before I could sit down and record this podcast for you. So I hope that if you aren't following me on Instagram, you can hop over there and take a look at this. You can see some visual slides that are kind of a recap of this particular ascension message. First and foremost, I do want to mention the fact that I'm sitting here kind of at the tail end of a little bit of a head cold type of thing, a little congested. And that's actually one of the reasons why I'm coming here to do this episode, is because I know a lot of people have also been having congestion, allergy-like symptoms, cold-like symptoms, and they're not sure how or why, because that's not normal for them. And again, it's all related to these ascension codes coming through. I do have to say, I last week went to the East Coast, was able to put on a few events in Connecticut and in Long Island, and they were incredible. Everything was fine, but as I was coming home on the plane, I was told by my guides that there were some intense codes coming through, and they were coming through while I was in the air. It was a really, really incredible experience. When I landed, I could feel my body processing, and it was not really on board with everything. So then I literally lay in bed all day Sunday and the day after I landed and just willed myself to get better quickly, honestly. I called in all my guides, called in all my energy workers here on earth, and I was like, okay, let's do this. Let's get these codes integrated. And when they came into my energy and read what was going on, they felt the same. It was a lot of ascension codes. Those were not the only symptoms, though. Those physical symptoms were not the only thing. So here I'm going to list for you. I think I have 6, but I'm going to add in a few more because when I posted this on Instagram, I invited everybody who was reading it to please let me know what other symptoms they were feeling so that everybody in this boat didn't feel so alone. So I'm going to start off with the first one, and that is fatigue and exhaustion. This fatigue and exhaustion has been honestly presenting itself as the desire to fall asleep when you're even standing or sitting. And I want to say that can be a little bit dangerous when you're driving. So be careful with those. Listen to your body when you want to take these naps. What I'm feeling is that there are some upgrades that need to come through during the daytime. I know that sounds really weird, but that's actually what's popping in right now. I have absolutely felt in the middle of the day the need to go lie down on my bed and just sleep. And I talked about this, I think it was just last week in my Ascension, no, it was 2 weeks ago in my Ascension message. But I don't know if any of you are also feeling that. And then there's times where at night I'm not getting good sleep. So it's like I'm needing this stuff to happen during the day. And they're like, oh, not during the night. You don't need as much sleep during the night. So it's been pretty crazy with this fatigue, this exhaustion. What my guides are telling me, we're sorry. This is taking a little bit longer for your bodies to process than we thought. You guys are definitely more tired than we thought you would be. So again, I'm going to say this throughout this episode. Call in your guides. I'll give you some tips at the end of the episode on how to do this. Call in all the help you can get, both on the earth, off and on planet, angelic, in spirit, and embodied. It's time to call in all of them. It's time. Like, do not hold back. Okay, the second thing that I want to mention is something that's come up for me is a loss of appetite. This started last week. And as I publish this, I'm literally recording it and publishing it on the same day, just so you know, like my timeline when I'm saying yesterday or whatever it is. So this is mid-October 2022. And I'm feeling a loss of appetite. It's been a while though, because I've actually felt an increase in appetite over the last several months and gained some weight. And so I'm feeling this loss in appetite and this desire to eat lighter foods, more fruits, more vegetables, and a lot more water. And I honestly say loss of appetite as in I can kind of just do one meal a day. And normally my blood sugar would be like, don't do that to me. But right now my body's like, I'm fine. I'm fine. So I'm really trying to listen to my body, be intuitive, make sure this is healthy for me, but it's not, so far, not harming in any way. Now, Dolores Cannon talks about this in a lot of her books when she talks about the new earth and what it will be like for our bodies. So does Sal Rochelle. These are the two authors I refer to quite frequently. They talk about how our bodies will eventually become breatharian. And so this is kind of like our steps, guys. This is it. It's happening. Some of you are already there. Some of you are like, oh my gosh, I've been doing that for 5 years. Not me. I did go vegan. And if you listen to my Ascension Diaries episode about my eating habits and how they have transformed during my Ascension journey, I did go vegan raw. That was like a complete cleanse and detox. Then I sort of transitioned back into more like a vegetarian diet and was eating pretty regular, like not a super decrease in calories. In fact, my body was like, no, I need more calories. So then just recently is when I've started feeling that taper off a little bit. So I'm not necessarily feeling that digestive system energy is needed as much because I'm not needing as much food. My digestive system energy is going to other things. That's how I kind of feel it's working. Listen to your body. This is not medical advice. I have to say all those disclaimers. Okay. The third topic I want to talk about, I'm hitting these really quickly, is this congestion and stuffy nose. So to go into it a little bit more detail, I did mention this at the beginning, but essentially what's happening is we are having backed up, not just we, but myself, maybe you too, it's backed up codes in my crown and third eye is what I sensed. And my energy worker, she's an amazing, amazing multidimensional Reiki healer, Monica, and she is under the Instagram handle Healing with Monica. If you are not following her, she is the one who works on my personal energy. She's it's funny because we talk about how in order to work with someone for a long time, you have to be upgrading at the same pace they are. If you've noticed, you've had certain healers or people drop out of your life or you haven't felt drawn to work with them anymore, it could be because your vibrations are just separating because you're on different ascension journeys. And I'm not even saying that theirs are lower than yours. I'm just saying they're different. They're different. So be open to working with other people. But Monica and I have been working together for a solid year. And every time she goes through upgrades, I end up going through upgrades. So we've kept up with each other. Like our work has been able to perpetuate this whole time. I feel that about the people I work with when I mentor them as well. Some come in and out. Their time is just for a season. Some stay and we're upgrading together. But these codes that are backed up in the crown and third eye, I want to encourage you. This is where the light language piece comes in. Light language is how to make sure that you're not like containing these codes too much. Like you're not integrating them or sending them out. Because some of the codes are for you to integrate and some of the codes are for you to project out into Gaia. So think about how that should be for you. What's the best way for you to do that? All right. The fourth thing is kind of a funny one. Major and really, major aha moments about previously misunderstood events in your life and how all of it led here. This is quicker than shadow work. This is not week-long, month-long shadow work. Guys, this is super, super fast. Aha moments, like a lightning bolt comes into your mind and you're like, oh, now I get it. And it's about whatever thing was mysterious to you, what you never understood, what you were resentful or angry about. It's all becoming clear to you. This is a fun one. I've been enjoying it. Number 5, strong presence of archetypal energy on its way out and on its way in. As I was creating this post last night for Instagram, I was literally channeling all of this. This is one Spirit wanted me to drop in. And I meant to say strong presence of archetypal energy on its way in. And Spirit was like, no. Remind them they are not only ushering in new archetypes, they are escorting out or deactivating old archetypes. A lot of you are transitioning from student to teacher or guide. Think about that for just a second. You are no longer needing to be the student. It's time for you to be the teacher or the guide. I feel my work transitioning to serve those of you who are light workers looking for how to serve as teachers. Now, I know that still puts you in like a student role, but my goal is to get you there, right? To eventually get you there so that this growth of light workers and teachers and guides is exponential on the planet, because you will be needed. Do not let the word oversaturated just be gone. Don't think about that. You are needed. You will call in your soul family. It will happen. I have zero doubt about that. Zero doubt. So what is this whole archetype thing? Okay, this is something I talked about a couple of weeks ago that dropped in my spirit. This was my last Ascension message. If you go back to my podcast, an Ascension message about the second week in October 2022 about soul template activation. I have not yet totally fleshed out how I'm going to be supporting you in that. There are lots of people who can support you in that. I hope to be one of them. But this soul template activation is literally those archetypes, whether it be the Merlin archetype, the Priestess archetype, an angelic archetype, whatever it is. Speaking of angelic archetypes, we are activating those templates in my angelic activation school this weekend. And I still have spots. I really do. I'm opening it like till the very last minute because I feel people will be in there last minute. So check the link below as a little side note. So those are all the templates we're activating. Think about it. Study your archetypes. Think about tarot. Maybe there's decks out there. I know there are decks out there. There are books out there. Start immersing yourself in this idea of archetypes. Okay, this is it. This is the key. Oh, as a side note, I am thrilled to be continuing my work with Amron Bevels, who is through the Priestess transmissions. She is working with me, and we're working together to activate Priestess templates specifically. And in the coming months, those of you who are in the portal that she's created, and I'll put the link below, I will be literally activating that Priestess template with her, co-creating this. That's gonna be my very first archetype that I'll be really leaning into to activate. And after that, there are going to be lots more. And those of you who want to mix your magic with me, if you feel like you're being led to help activate these archetypes and these soul templates, I still want to remind you, you can reach out to me because I want to work with you. I do. I feel this is important to all of us. Okay, number 6, sudden feeling of disorientation, like you are in a dream due to timeline shifting. This is not just due to timeline shifting. This is what I've been experiencing. All of this timeline shifting stuff is extremely, extremely prevalent right now. It was funny because I actually posted in my stories. I was laughing so hard because Lee Harris posted something and I was like, oh, Lee Harris and I are on the same page as per usual. He said, just literally right after I posted mine, he said, you might be feeling very disoriented in your own identity, in your own life. This disorientation will feel very personal. Other people in your life or other things that are going on in your world, they may all be apparently carrying on as normal, or so you believe, but you yourself might feel a little bit like you're sleepwalking through things and you aren't quite connecting with things in the same way. It's not necessarily a bad feeling to you. You don't need to feel that something is wrong or that you need to take action to stop it happening, but you feel a little bit like this energy is running through you. And he calls this chrysalis energy, the contraction before the expansion. What I feel it is actually we are in between. It's an in-between moment where we're not anchored in either reality. We have to detach. Like there's this perfect moment of kind of a void where we've detached from the old and we're about to anchor into the new, but we're not quite fully anchored into it. And it feels like we're floating. That's why we're feeling disoriented. That's why, okay? You are not alone. Go into my Instagram comments because I cannot read them all. I'm going to read a few more because people started dropping in extra and additional things that they're going through. I will make sure to address one of the things that was mentioned in this comment section of my Instagram, which was, how do we call in our guides to help us? But I want to say somebody else, all of these other comments that have been made, I want to drop in and mention some of them. One person said, a lot of angel numbers every day. Feeling disoriented to this person has felt like an earthquake. I don't know how many of you are feeling that kind of tremor energy, but that's definitely one. Another person mentioned eclipse vibes. I had that come up in a session as well. It's definitely related to these eclipse vibes. Absolutely. Someone else has just said a lot of intense activations, purging, releasing, and connecting with a ton of new guides. This is the end of a lot of karmic cycles. Okay, so that was something that somebody else mentioned. Another one said, I'm constantly thirsty. All I want is smoothies and endless amounts of water. I've been getting huge waves of energy down through my crown and through my spine. I was having third eye headaches for a long time, having to nap in the middle of the day, right? Like I said, it's like I'm getting nonstop heavy duty Reiki done on me. It was coming in waves now, but it's almost daily. It's exhausting me for months, but I feel like I'm riding the wave now. And I've had some moments of high energy and bliss. Yes, I know that a lot of you are nodding. I can feel like I'm telepathically connecting to you. You're all like, yes, yes, yes. Just incredible things happening. Let me just see if I can find a couple more that I want to say. A lot of people are saying they've been feeling heaviness, a lot of heaviness, thirsty and sleepy. Everything so intense in the mind with an oddly calm exterior. I feel that as well. That's that dream state outside of us, whereas inside, it's just this inner intense battle. I don't want to say battle, but experience, okay? All right, another one is just hard to focus on daily tasks. Take those personal leave days if you have a job, if you can do so. Take off time from your regular routines is something that's dropping in right now from Spirit, okay? That's a couple of the comments. There's so many, obviously 246. I cannot read them all. If you are one of the people who dropped in the comment section, thank you for co-creating, because you're probably validating other people's experiences. This is why it's so important for us to come out with our voices as light workers. If you're listening to this and you have a lot to say, but you don't feel comfortable about saying it on your regular Instagram or social media because you kind of don't want to mix it, create another social media account and start dropping in. The world needs your insights. Just create another social media account that will call in this group of people who are ascending together, and that's who you're going to serve through that account. Don't be afraid to do that. A lot of people ask me about it and I'm like, yes. Do not worry about having to mix, whatever it is you're doing. Just keep it right there, and you will call in those people who are resonating at that vibration. We're multidimensional. We can have 20 social media accounts and express ourselves however we want to express ourselves. I give you permission to do all of that. Not that I need to, but I'm just saying. So I want to drop in here at the end. This has been a really wild and energetic episode. Thank you for co-creating with me. And how do we connect with our guides? It was funny because when I posted this, there's something I said in my specific comment that I literally channeled through, and it said, I'm here holding space for anyone in this boat. You are not alone. We are all in it together, and there are innumerable beings of light waiting for our word to come in and assist. Let's call them in like we've never called them in before. That was kind of an interesting part of that post that I was not planning on saying. So Spirit was like, okay, tell everybody all this stuff so they don't feel like they're alone. And then this last little cherry on top was, tell them they can call in all of these helpers. So for those of you who are like, I don't know who my starseed family is. I don't even know who my guides are. All I see are light beings, or I don't even see, I just feel, or maybe I don't know. Intention is the most powerful thing. I think we try to make it rocket science, my friends. I do. I think we try to make it rocket science. It is not rocket science. Do not second guess yourself. Follow your intuition and declare it. You can say it out loud. I call in all beings of light who are willing to assist me with this particular physical symptom I'm having right now to help, both in asleep and awake times, in a way that will not negatively affect my day-to-day activities. That's it. Let's just declare it. Make your own. That was just kind of my suggestion. If that helps you, use mine. Come up with other ones. I mean, there is just so many ways we can use our intention. We are using a fraction of our power, is what my guides are telling me. We are using our fraction of our ability to manifest. Why are our abilities to manifest increasing right now? Is it just so we can like have the house we want, have the relationship we want, all those things? Heavens no. It's so we can manifest the particular ascension journey we want to take, both physically, mentally, emotionally, all of the ways, so that we can craft that and create that and paint that and have it come to fruition. So that's why the manifesting is so important to lean into right now. All that other stuff is fun. Abundance, manifesting abundance in your life is fun. But manifesting your ascension journey in a way that you have never thought possible because you always thought there was an outside being or source that needed to tell you how to do it. There is not one. You are your own best guide. You are your own best person to tell you how to do this. Listen to your intuition. Trust yourself, my friends. Okay, before I finish, I do want to let you know I am so excited. The link for my 11/11 Los Angeles event is now live. It is a virtual and in-person event. If you are far away and you're like, oh, darn, like this is going to be incredible. This is a channeling ceremony. I'm going to be working in a co-channeling situation with other channelers. When we mix our magic, it is so powerful. It is so powerful. So I want to make sure I draw attention to that. I have a bunch of other stuff coming up. I'm not even going to worry about dropping that in here because you know where to find me. Find me on my Instagram. Find me on my website, all of the ways, and just co-create with me. I'm going to extend that invitation because it really just is the highlight of my life to co-create with all of you. Not just through listening to the podcast, but coming to these virtual gatherings, coming to these in-person events. It is the thrill of my life to do that. All right. We are stronger together. We are here together. We are in this together. Take a moment, take a deep breath. I want you to feel everybody who's co-creating right now with this episode, who's co-creating in this energy, and feel their support and love. Doesn't it feel so good? As always, I am sending you so much love, and I'm reminding you that I am you, and you are me, and we are we. Hang in there. You're going to make it through this with flying colors. I can't wait to see how it all turns out in the next couple of weeks. Until next time.